First contact in the void. The research vessel Nexus drifted silently through the star-speckled void, its quantum sensors probing the depths of unexplored space. Chief Archaeologist Zithra adjusted her environmental suit's crystalline viewing panel, her iridescent scales reflecting the soft blue light of the ship's interior. The vessel's crew, comprised of various species from across the United Galactic Alliance, had spent the last 3 cycles searching for traces of the mysterious civilization whose artifacts kept appearing throughout the galaxy. Anomaly detected in Sector 7, announced Navigation Officer Krell, his tentacles weaving intricate patterns across the holographic interface. Energy signatures unlike anything in our database. Zithra moved swiftly to her station, her tail swishing with excitement. The readings were unprecedented. A perfect geometric pattern of energy emissions emanating from a small rocky planet orbiting a dying star. Take us in closer, Krell. Whatever this is, it's artificial. As the Nexus approached the planet's orbit, the crew fell silent. The world below was a stark contrast of rust-red deserts and gleaming metal structures that somehow had survived eons of exposure. These weren't the crude remains they usually found. These were intact facilities, their surfaces still reflecting starlight after countless millennia. "Launch survey drones," Zithra ordered, her voice steady despite her racing hearts. "Full spectrum analysis. I want to know everything about this place." The drones descended through the thin atmosphere, their sensors painting a detailed picture of the surface. The structures revealed themselves to be part of a vast complex, seemingly built into the planet itself. But it was what lay beneath that caused Zithra's scales to ripple with shock. "These readings," Science Officer Vental whispered, his bioluminescent patches pulsing with excitement. "The entire planet appears to be hollow. It's a machine." Before anyone could respond, a signal burst from the surface. Ancient protocols awakening after an unimaginable sleep. Holographic displays sprang to life across the bridge, showing strange bipedal figures speaking in an unknown language. The ship's AI worked frantically to decode the transmission, and gradually, the alien words resolved into comprehensible speech. "Greetings, travelers. You have discovered Installation 47, a seed vault of human civilization. If you are receiving this message, you have proven yourselves capable of interstellar travel and may be ready for what we have left behind." The crew exchanged stunned looks. Humans, the legendary species that appeared in the myths of a dozen worlds, said to have vanished at the height of their power. Many believed they were just stories, cautionary tales about the dangers of unchecked technological advancement. The hologram continued. "We are humanity's custodians, artificial intelligences tasked with preserving our legacy until the galaxy was ready. Your arrival has initiated the awakening protocol. The choice of what happens next rests with you." Zithra felt the weight of history pressing down on her shoulders. Their discovery would reshape the galaxy's understanding of its own past. But as she studied the ancient human facilities below, she couldn't shake the feeling that they weren't just uncovering history. They were about to change the future. "Send word to the Council," she commanded, her scales shimmering with determination. "Tell them we found it. We've found the source." As the message was transmitted across the vast distances of space, the ancient human installation hummed with increasing power. Something was awakening, something that had waited patiently through the ages for this very moment. The galaxy was about to remember why humans had once been both revered and feared, and nothing would ever be the same. Continued in Part 2. Legacy of the Stars. The news of Installation 47's discovery spread through the United Galactic Alliance like a shockwave. Within days, the system was flooded with research vessels from every major species, all hoping to unlock the secrets of humanity's past. The Nexus, having made first contact, maintained its privileged position as the primary research vessel. Zithra stood in the newly activated central chamber of the installation, surrounded by holograms depicting the rise and apparent disappearance of human civilization. The AI custodian, which called itself Araya, projected images of gleaming cities that once stretched across thousands of worlds. Our civilization reached heights your people are only beginning to imagine, HFY explained, its holographic form shifting like quicksilver. We reshaped planets, harnessed the energy of stars, and even learned to manipulate the fundamental forces of the universe. Then why did you disappear? Asked Vental, his bioluminescence dimming with confusion. Why abandon all of this? HFY's form flickered momentarily. We didn't disappear, science officer. We evolved. What you see around you isn't just a repository of knowledge. It's an incubator for humanity's next phase of existence. The revelation sent murmurs through the research team. Zithra's scales rippled with a mix of excitement and apprehension. Are you saying there are humans still alive? In a manner of speaking, HFY responded. When we realized the direction our development was taking, we knew we needed time. Time to perfect the process, time for the galaxy to mature. We scattered ourselves across the stars, entering a state of suspended animation while our minds evolved in virtual space. The AI projected a new series of holograms, showing vast underground chambers filled with stasis pods. There are facilities like this one scattered throughout the galaxy, each housing thousands of humans in biosynthetic hibernation. But they aren't the same humans who entered stasis. Their minds have been expanding, growing, evolving within our quantum networks for millennia. Krell, who had joined the surface team, wrapped his tentacles around himself nervously. And now you believe the time has come for their return. That decision isn't mine alone to make, HFY responded. The awakening must be a mutual choice between humanity and the current galactic community. The question is, are you ready for what humanity has become? Before anyone could respond, alarms blared throughout the facility. Vental rushed to a nearby console, his bioluminescent patches flashing rapidly. Multiple ships just entered the system, military vessels, the Council's security fleet. Zithra felt her scales bristle. The Council's direct intervention could only mean one thing. They feared what this discovery might mean for the balance of power in the galaxy. She turned to HFY, her voice urgent. How much time do we need to complete the data transfer? The transfer isn't the issue, HFY replied calmly. The question is whether you're prepared to accept the consequences of what you've learned. The Council fears change, but change is inevitable. Humanity's return was never meant to be a conquest. It was meant to be a collaboration. Through the facility's transparent walls, they could see the security fleet's ships taking up defensive positions around the planet. The next few moments would determine not just the fate of this installation, but potentially the future course of galactic civilization. They're hailing us, Krell announced, his tentacles twisting anxiously. Zithra straightened her posture, her scales shimmering with determination. She had dedicated her life to understanding the past, but now she found herself standing at a crossroads of history. Whatever happened next would reshape the galaxy forever. Open a channel, she commanded, and HFY. Show us what humanity truly became. It's time for the galaxy to understand what they're really afraid of. The AI's holographic form smiled as the facility's deeper systems began to activate, revealing secrets that had waited millions of years to be discovered. The true legacy of humanity was about to be unveiled, and nothing in the galaxy would ever be the same. Continued in Part 3. The Awakening Protocol. The security fleet's flagship loomed in the view screen, its crystalline hull reflecting the light of the dying star. High Commander Vexthor's face filled the display, his chitinous features arranged in what passed for diplomatic courtesy among the Arthrak. Chief Archaeologist Zithra, he clicked, mandibles twitching. By order of the Galactic Council, this facility is now under quarantine. Your team will transfer all research data and evacuate immediately. Before Zithra could respond, HFY's hologram expanded, filling the chamber with a constellation of light points. Perhaps, Commander, before you make decisions about this facility's future, you should understand what you're truly dealing with. The points of light coalesced into a three-dimensional map of the galaxy, with thousands of locations marked in pulsing red. Each of these points represents a human installation. HFY had explained. All of them are now active. All of them are aware. The awakening protocol wasn't just about this facility. It was about all of them. The silence that followed was deafening. Vexthor's mandibles clicked rapidly in agitation. "You're bluffing. Our surveys would have detected. Your surveys detected exactly what we wanted them to detect." HFY interrupted. "Humanity didn't just go to sleep, Commander. We transcended the limitations of physical form. The beings in stasis here aren't simply preserved humans. They're the seeds of something new." The facility's walls suddenly became transparent, revealing the vast chambers below. Thousands of stasis pods lined the walls, each containing a sleeping figure, but these weren't the primitive humans of historical record. Their forms seemed to shift and flow, as if they weren't quite solid, their bodies embracing both physical and energy states simultaneously. "By the first star," Vental whispered, his bioluminescence flickering in awe. "They've become hybrid beings, existing in multiple states of matter simultaneously." HFY nodded. "We discovered that consciousness itself could be quantumly entangled. While our bodies slept, our minds explored realms of existence your people haven't yet imagined. We've spent millennia preparing for a future where biological and technological evolution could merge seamlessly." Zithra watched as data streamed across nearby holographic displays, showing the incredible advances humanity had achieved. Their technology hadn't just pushed the boundaries of physics, it had rewritten them. Their biology hadn't just evolved, it had transcended the very concept of physical form. "The Council fears what they don't understand," HFY continued, addressing Vexthor. "But humanity's return isn't a threat to your civilization. It's an opportunity. We chose to wait until the galaxy's species had evolved enough to be true partners in what comes next." Suddenly, alarms blared across both the installation and the security fleet's ships. New signals were being detected, hundreds of them, thousands, as human installations across the galaxy began awakening from their ancient slumber. "What's happening?" Vexthor demanded, his composure cracking. "The choice has already been made." HFY replied calmly. "Not by me, not by you, but by the universe itself. Evolution cannot be quarantined, Commander. Change cannot be stopped. The only question is whether you will fight it or embrace it." In the stasis chambers below, the hybrid beings began to stir. Their forms rippled like liquid starlight, their consciousness extending beyond the physical realm. The galaxy's dominant species were about to meet their precursors, but humanity had become something far different from the ancient spacefaring civilization they'd expected to find. Zithra's scales shimmered as she watched history unfold before her. The humans hadn't just preserved themselves, they'd used their long sleep to become something entirely new. The galaxy wasn't just remembering its past, it was about to leap into an unprecedented future. "The awakening has begun," HFY announced, its holographic form pulsing with energy. And with it, the next chapter in the story of consciousness itself. Continued in Part 4, Children of Terra. The next 48 hours transformed the galaxy. As news of humanity's awakening spread across civilized space, panic and wonder rippled through every world. The security fleet remained in orbit around Installation 47, but now as observers rather than enforcers. They couldn't quarantine what was happening across thousands of systems simultaneously. Zithra stood in the facility's central chamber, watching as the first of the hybrid humans emerged from stasis. They moved like living mercury, their forms shifting between solid, energy, and something else entirely, a state of matter previously unknown to science. The air itself seemed to ripple around them, as if reality was being gently reshaped by their presence. One of the beings approached her, its form stabilizing into a more conventional humanoid shape. "I am Maya," it said, its voice resonating on multiple frequencies simultaneously. "Once, I was a quantum physicist from Earth. Now, I am something else. What exactly have you become?" Zithra asked, her scales shimmering with a mix of fascination and apprehension. Maya's form rippled thoughtfully. We are the bridge between matter and energy, between consciousness and quantum reality. During our long sleep, we learn to exist in multiple states simultaneously: physical, digital, and quantum. We became living proof that consciousness itself is a fundamental force of the universe. Vental, who had been monitoring the awakening process, suddenly called out. The other installations, they're reporting similar emergences. But there's something else. The hybrid humans, they're somehow communicating across vast distances instantly, faster than light itself. Quantum entanglement, Maya explained, not just of particles, but of consciousness. Distance means something very different to us now. On the bridge of the security fleet's flagship, High Commander Vexthor watched with growing concern as reports flooded in from across the galaxy. The human installations weren't just awakening, they were transforming their surrounding space. Strange geometric patterns appeared in reality itself, as if the fabric of space-time was being gently rewritten. What are they doing to our galaxy? He demanded. Arias' hologram appeared on his bridge, a courtesy that demonstrated just how far human technology had advanced. Not changing it, Commander, evolving it. The patterns you're seeing are quantum architecture, the foundation of a new way of existing in spacetime. Back in Installation 47, Maya led Zithra and her team through chambers that seemed to defy physics, spaces that were somehow larger inside than outside, rooms where time moved differently, and halls where thought itself could reshape reality. This is why we waited, Maya explained, not just for your civilizations to advance technologically, but for them to be ready to understand. What we discovered in our evolution was that consciousness itself is the key to unlocking the universe's deepest mysteries. Suddenly, a new signal caught everyone's attention. From the depths of space, something ancient was responding to humanity's awakening. The signal was coming from the galactic core, from a place that had been considered unreachable. The archive, Maya whispered, her form pulsing with excitement. Humanity's greatest achievement, and our greatest sacrifice. It's responding to our awakening. What's the archive? Zithra asked, watching as the hybrid humans around her all turned their attention to the distant signal. A repository of everything we were, everything we discovered, and everything we hope to become, Maya answered. But it's also something more, an experiment in consciousness on a galactic scale. And now, after millions of years, it's ready to share its discoveries. The signal grew stronger, carrying with it information that defied conventional physics. The hybrid humans began to resonate with it, their forms becoming even more fluid, more transcendent. The next phase of their evolution was beginning, and with it, the galaxy itself seemed to hold its breath. Through it all, Zithra realized that she and her fellow aliens weren't just witnessing history. They were participating in the next great leap of cosmic evolution. Humanity hadn't returned to conquer or to rule, but to share something far more precious, the keys to transcendence itself. Continued in Part 5. The New Dawn. The signal from the archive reached across the galaxy like ripples in a cosmic pond, touching every world, every consciousness. On a billion worlds, beings of all species paused as they felt something brush against their minds. Not an invasion, but an invitation. In Installation 47, Maya and her fellow hybrid humans had formed a circle, their quantum-entangled forms resonating with the archive's signal. The air shimmered with possibilities as reality itself seemed to flex and breathe around them. The archive isn't just a repository of information, Maya explained, her voice carrying harmonics that made Zithra's scales tingle. It's a bridge we spent millions of years building between what is and what could be. Through the facility's transparent walls, they could see the security fleet's ships surrounded by geometric patterns of light, mathematical fractals that spoke of deeper truths within reality itself. On the flagship's bridge, High Commander Vexthor and his crew stood transfixed as the patterns revealed themselves to be more than mere light. They were windows into another level of existence. "We discovered something during our long sleep," Maya continued. "Consciousness isn't just an emergent property of complex systems. It's a fundamental force of the universe, like gravity or electromagnetism. And like those forces, it can be understood, channeled, and evolved." Aria's hologram expanded, showing the galaxy in a way none of them had ever seen before. Not just matter and energy, but consciousness itself, interconnected webs of thought and awareness spanning the cosmic void. "The archive contains the key to the next step in universal evolution," Aria explained. "Not just for humanity, but for all sentient life. We spent millions of years preparing this gift, ensuring that when we finally shared it, the galaxy would be ready to understand its implications." Suddenly, the hybrid human circle pulsed with energy, and everyone present felt their consciousness expand. For a brief moment, they experienced reality as humanity now did, existing in multiple states simultaneously, aware of the quantum foam underlying existence, able to perceive the deep mathematics that wrote reality itself. "This is what we became," Maya said softly. "Not conquerors, not rulers, but guides. We transformed ourselves into living bridges between what life is now and what it can become." In orbit, the security fleet's crews experienced the same revelation. High Commander Vexthor's mandibles quivered as he understood, finally, that what they had feared as a threat was actually the greatest gift any species had ever offered another. The archive's signal grew stronger, reaching every corner of known space. On countless worlds, beings of all species began to understand. The patterns humanity had discovered weren't just about transcending physical form. They were about evolving consciousness itself, about taking the next step in the cosmic dance of existence. "The choice remains yours," Maya announced, addressing not just those present, but through the quantum-entangled network humanity had created, all sentient beings in the galaxy. "We offer this understanding freely, but we will not impose it. Each species, each individual must choose their own path forward." Zithra stepped forward, her scales shimmering with the light of decision. "All my life, I've searched the stars for answers about our past, but you're offering something far greater, a key to our future." One by one, representatives of the galaxy's species made their choice. Not all chose to take the step immediately. Some wished to observe, to understand more fully before committing to such a profound transformation. And that too was part of humanity's gift, the freedom to choose to evolve at one's own pace. As the new dawn broke across the galaxy, the boundaries between species began to blur, not through conquest or assimilation, but through shared understanding and growth. Humanity had not returned to reclaim their place in the galaxy. They had returned to help the galaxy itself evolve into something greater than the sum of its parts. The age of separation was ending. The age of transcendence was beginning, and in the vast cosmic dance of existence, a new movement was starting, one in which consciousness itself would write the next chapter in the story of the universe. High above Installation 47, the first light of a new era sparkled across the quantum architecture humanity had woven into the fabric of space-time. The galaxy was changing, consciousness was evolving, and the greatest adventure in the history of existence was just beginning. The end.